this car to drive to work to pay for this car. Buy this car to drive to work.
Welcome to Yellow Brick Road. I am Jordan, and today I'm going to talk about Bernie Sanders being left off or taken off the ballot in New York, and people are calling for him to unsuspend his campaign. They've been doing that, but I'm just going to talk about it, I guess. But first, please consider donating to Devon's Journey to Recovery. The GoFundMe link is in the description box. If you got $5 or more laying around, you want to donate to a charity, you can at Devon's Journey to Recovery. GoFundMe link in the description box. Alright, so apparently the New York State primary Democratic primary has taken Bernie Sanders off the ballot when he could be getting votes, man. What the hell, dude? And I guess this is Bernie's team response. I don't like the idea of team responses. That sounds stupid to me. Like you should all just say your own thing individually. Maybe people will be able to point out who sucks and who doesn't. But anyways, I guess they're just copying pasting an article. Bernie 2020 senior advisor Jeff Weaver. He pitched for the Yankees, by the way. He kind of sucked, but he still pitched for the Yankees. That is probably a different person. On Monday, issued the following statement after the New York State Board of Elections moved to cancel the state's presidential primary. Today's decision by the State of New York Board of Elections is an outrage, a blow to American democracy, and must be overturned by the DNC. Good luck. Just last week, Vice President Biden warned the American people that President Trump could use the current crisis as an excuse to postpone the November election. Well, he now has a president thanks to New York State. Oh boy. It's kind of funny, they say stuff like that and it's do people have a choice in this, or is it just a group of people making decisions for everyone? A small group of people are deciding whether there will be or won't be elections. Things that are supposed to involve your vote. Apparently, they're not up to you, whether that happens or not. It's either up to the Democratic Party and Bernie's campaign and Andrew Cuomo and whoever, or up to Donald Trump, the Republicans, and the neocons, whoever. You guys are you're supposed to shut up and pick a side. Anyways, continuing on. While we understood that we did not have the votes to win the Democratic nomination, our campaign was suspended, not ended, because people in every state should have the right to express their preference, even if it doesn't matter. What the Board of Elections is ignoring is that the primary process not only leads to a nominee, but also the selection of delegates, which helps determine the platform and rules of the Democratic Party. So it's it sounds like just guessing here, but Bernie's thing is to sacrifice everyone and anything to get, ocean-sized, watered-down versions of whatever the fuck he actually wants. Right? Instead of Medicare for all, maybe you'll get Obamacare 2.0. Maybe you'll get that at best. It's oh man, people are gonna hate you, man. At some point, there's going to be a tipping point. Right now, you're still somewhat fine. A lot of people have fallen off from this Bernie guy, but there's a tipping point somewhere because people are sticking to him because something could happen. Biden could get hit by lightning or something, which is I'll get into that later on, but something could happen to Biden and Bernie's can step right in. So you're still holding on to people, even though it's not even you they're holding on to anymore. It's if I had to guess, it's an idea of winning. That's what's keeping them around. But let's continue. No one asked New York to cancel the election. DNC didn't request it. The Biden campaign didn't request it, and our campaign communicated that we wanted to remain on the ballot. Given that the primary is months away, the proper response must be to make the election safe, such as going to all vote by mail, rather than to eliminating people's right to vote completely. New York has clearly violated its approved delegate selection plan. If this is not remedied, New York should lose all its delegates to the 2020 Democratic National Convention. Yeah, it sounds like safe hands there. And there should be a broader review by the Democratic Party of New York's checkered pattern of voter disenfranchisement. Yeah. Yeah. But I don't know. It's just weird to me because, like, oh, let's say they're like, you know what? We're going to drop Biden and we're going to replace him with Andrew Cuomo. Would Bernie and his campaign go out, trying to get votes for Andrew Cuomo? It's a question worth asking. Man. I think you know my answer. So here's a Bernie person. Says New York takes Bernie off the ballot, and now California is threatening to take away his delegates. Bernie only has one option: unsuspend his campaign and get back in the race. That would be his only option. Well, he's had plenty of options. He's already threw them away. So now he's locked into these options. Right? Like, he didn't have to drop out. Anyways, she says, raise your voice, call Bernie's office and ask him to unsuspend. Didn't Bernie trash his own fucking one of his campaign managers or surrogates, whatever the fuck they're called? Didn't he already trash them? I'm not paying you anymore, so you don't count. She doesn't represent me because I don't pay her anymore. And then you see in big letters, Americans deserve fair elections. Well, you would have thought that Bernie would have halted everything back in Iowa with the coin flips and the misallocated votes and the fucked up voting app and Shadow Inc. and all that shit. That was a fucking treasure trove of shit that would boost you up and make them look the way they're supposed to look. Right? Like, these guys are probably criminals. It's like, man, maybe it'd be cool if the public actually realized that. So I could have used this whole election like, I'm trying to do good, guys, but as you can see, they're kind of rigging this against me. And then you have the weird exit polling and all that shit, the weird margins of error, or weird disparities between the actual votes and the exit poll votes, towards like, yeah, does that make sense? And you hear stories from Tim Canova and his battles with Debbie Washburn Schultz in Florida, and it's like, sounds plausible. You don't have to say it's true, but either way, like, should there be an investigation? It's like, maybe. Sounds like there should be. But once again, like, I don't see, it's hard for me to look at Bernie as oh, you're in this for some sort of, well, I can see that he's in it for some sort of moral reason. It's just, I can't believe the incompetence level here. Right? It reflects a lot of his actual supporters. It actually reflects there. You can see them to where morality is put on hold for winning so that they can win and then do something moral. And I've talked about this before. I usually call them fuck faces and shit like that, but like this guy. Right? The Humanist Report. You see the title of the video, Nico House and Mike Figueredo squash their beef to focus on the future. And it's like, if Bernie was still like hauling ass in the election and campaign, there's no coronavirus shit, and he's all over the country and he's getting momentum and all that, would this conversation happen? Would this have happened? Did Mike here get locked into a trance to where he's like, win, 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 and then once we win, I'll turn my moral lamp back on? Could he be caught in the win, 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 win? Oh, fuck, we're not going to win. But I want to be a good person, so I'll turn my moral lamp back on. And I'm like, is that the psyche of like his supporters? Is that the psyche of him? Right? Remember the Assange shit? So it's like, I'm aware of the topic. I'm aware of it. But I can't comment on it right now. And it's like, So is the point to, okay, take all my moral fibers, crumble them up, and throw them 50 yards ahead of me. And then, as soon as I'm done walking those 50 yards, I'll pick it back up. After we win, then we'll try. What did Kyle Kalinske say about Mike Gravel? If you're not here to win, then... like, talking about 9/11 and stuff like that. It's not going to help you win. It's like, take your morals, throw them 50 yards ahead of you, and then hopefully you'll get to that 50-yard line. And you can pick up your morals again. After you win, of course. That's just a little critique there. Should he be taken off the ballot? Of course not. He should be put on the ballot, have his name crossed out, and put Nina Turner there instead. If you're going to play politics, why not be good at it? Say, I suspend my campaign, but while I'm working on this coronavirus shit in the Senate, I'm going to pass all my shit to Nina Turner, and I endorse her to be me now. And not only will your already supporters support you, you will be gaining new followers. Believe it or not. Once again, not saying Nina Turner's the greatest fucking thing ever. It's just, I don't know. It seems like she has a little more of a backbone than a lot of these other political guys. So, that's what I would say. That's not going to happen. But, it's a thought. Just throwing it out there. But yeah, once again, the biggest takeaway from this video should be that point. The winning thing. The psychological thing that's happening when these egos get locked into winning first. Like, their reasons are, like, I want the world to be a better place. And the only way we can, at least take a step towards that is to make sure this guy's elected. So what we have to do is help him win. Right? If he does anything weird, we blow it off or we ignore it or whatever. And then once he wins, then my moral fibers will come back to me. And then I can start criticizing him. Right, you're seeing that with the Tara Reid shit, right? There's apparently more, what's the word, corroborating stories, right? Her mom calling in to CNN, her neighbor saying that, Tara Reid was complaining about this back in the 90s, right? Which is more and more damning for Joe Biden. But fuck the political shit, right? I expect Biden to be a douchebag and to ignore it and to say fuck it to try and win, right? I told people, like, Bernie can counter with whatever policy he wants. Biden will just lie and then hope he gets away with it long enough to win the election, win some sort of election, and then he'll be like, fuck. Then people are going to start exposing it and to start getting some press. But when it comes to Bernie, I think you're supposed to expect something different, right? If you're in that lane, if you're in this for moral reasons, right? Isn't this a stop campaigning for a guy that could have done this and got away with it? It's like, we should figure this out first. We should stop and figure out what happened here. Sounds like a thing to me. I don't know. It's like, but he might be doing what his supporters are doing. Trump is so bad. Make sure Joe wins first, and then we'll look at the rape stuff, the rapey stuff. So yeah, scratch his name off, replace with Nina Turner, and move on with your lives. If you're gonna take incremental steps, might as well take a Nina Turner step rather than a Bernie step, because you know some people might view it as a step backwards, but you know. I like to read the room, and if people feel like he's like a great guy, like a legitimately like a moral guy who stands, you know, on a moral mountaintop with the rest of his supporters, and like, yeah, he's one of us, like a good guy trying to do good within the realm of this corrupt government. It's like, all right, I understand that too. I still see room for that, but I just view him as a man of the times, and I'd say, you know, if he actually got in office, I wouldn't expect anything crazy to happen. Just maybe like watered down versions of his own policy. Or maybe he'd say, fuck it, gloves off. I won, it's over. Right? Maybe that moral fiber will sprint to that 50-yard line. Alright, that's it from me. Please subscribe if you like, comment, agree, disagree. Tell me what you think. Am I right? Am I wrong? Or am I just playing politics? You tell me. Don't forget to donate. Devon's Journey to Recovery GoFundMe link in the description box. And with all that said, give this video a thumbs down.
Say you wanna get in.